it's an interesting period we're in now where companies like Netflix are getting into gaming. And we're seeing more sort of gamification of content in the metaverse space. But how do you see interactive gaming and gaming in general playing in this broader sort of streaming OTT space?
Well, so I know OTT primarily as a consumer, right? My background is in interactive content development. I've created video games, apps, VR, AR experiences, location-based immersive experiences, and recently started working with a Web3 gaming company, working on Web3 technologies and games. So, you know, I would consider myself sort of an interactive content producer. The thing that I really started to believe about 12 years ago during the stint that I spent at Paramount Pictures was that all of these different formats they're irrelevant to the audience, right? Like the audience, they're excited and passionate about an IP. And what we've seen over the course of the last decade is that IPs are sort of, I think the buzzword 10 years ago was transmedia, but they have begun to sort of have extensions in every format that users interact with or audiences interact with. And so I think that that's the thing that's important to remember here is that from an audience's perspective, it's like, where can I go find any kind of content that is exciting to me? And obviously, it's natural then to find companies like Netflix, which have their own IPs that have big, passionate followings, beginning to branch out from the traditional sort of, you know, formats that they may be known for. In the case of Netflix, something like just streaming video, and starting to have extensions in games, and then needing to coordinate those things across, you know, their company. Is that?
Yeah, and I think you nailed it, because I think one of the things that you know I see happening in this sort of Silicon Beach Hollywood scene is a much greater, back to what Will was saying, one-to-one, or at least finding a really strong vertical. It could be a niche. I mean, I think Kevin Hart, who literally has cloned himself, he is everywhere. He is our de facto pitch man, and we bow to him. But Heartbeat, and as an extension of that Laugh Out Loud network, is, I mean, it's Kevin's world. It's his thing, and people will follow that. And I think Netflix, since we're talking about them, let's stay on them for a second. I think they've really captured a bit of that zeitgeist too, really, to your point, recognizing what people want to watch. And that guy who got slapped is now going to be the first live event. This is Chris Rock, for those who've been living in a hole for the last year. So Chris Rock will be the first live content, really big live content on Netflix. So a moment in history. But that's something that, you know, we should assume could have happened. But I think, you know, we're getting now into this next sort of phase of what does it matter if you can maybe even have a pay-per-view instead of paying different tiers. Because I think that's really what you know, this is all about. And I think younger audiences have led that way, and a lot of that did happen here. I mean, TikTok has you know, become really a verb now, or you know, just a larger. Do you see? I mean, and particularly Eric. I mean, this may not be something you know keeps you up at night thinking, but do you have meetings where people are presenting ideas to Roku and advertising for TikTok-like extensions?
I think sort of in the same way that Ben, you're outlining, like IP is sort of cross-media now, and people want to find their content where they want to find it. I think advertisers, to your question, are trying to figure out how to find those consumers wherever they may be. And so trying to understand the ways in which we can, Roku can be a part of that in conjunction with these other platforms that they may be on that are social or more mobile extensions. For sure, we definitely have conversations with people about that. I think in terms of the one-to-one connection, that's where being at Roku with logged in identity and sort of a one-to-one connection with consumers via the television screen, the biggest screen in the home, is really an advantage for us in those conversations, and really a way in which we can differentiate, and that we can be a true partner in terms of helping people find the audiences they're looking for.